Welcome back, investigators, to another episode of The Psychic Detective, where we tap into true crime and high-profile cases. And in this case today, we are going to be tapping into the energy of Karmelo Anthony, and we're going to be finding out if this was really self-defense, or we're going to get some details about what really happened that day. So the two people involved in this case is Karmelo Anthony here, and then we also have Austin Metcalf. But before I go any further in this video, I do want to say that both parties involved are in the wrong. Karmelo Anthony is in the wrong because of the unaliving of Austin Metcalf. And Austin, he is in the wrong for the bullying and also the harassment of Karmelo. So as we know, Karmelo Anthony was at a school event where he was sitting under a tent because it was raining. And that's when Matt here approached Karmelo and tried to forcibly remove him from under the tent. Karmelo warned Matt multiple times to pretty much F around and find out. He told him not to touch him and he will see what would happen. I personally think that this was a case of Matt provoking Karmelo, okay? I feel like Karmelo had enough, okay? I do feel like there is prior history in regards to these two. I do feel like there was some bullying going around, but we're going to pull out the cards here in a little bit to figure out what really happened between these two. So after several attempts of Karmelo trying to warn Austin to leave him alone, Austin just wouldn't let up. So that's when Karmelo went into his bag and pulled out a Chucky and poked Austin in the chest, which unfortunately led to the unaliving and passing of Austin. Now, everybody is trying to paint Karmelo out to be this horrible monster, but I do feel like it was self-defense or he just had enough. So this is where I step in as a psychic detective, and I am going to go ahead and run the cards and find out what we need to know about this case. So these are the cards that came out for the questions that I asked, and before I move forward, all the information in this reading is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. So the first thing I normally ask is, what do I need to know about this case? But I also asked, was this self-defense? So what I'm getting that we need to know about this case, well, there are already details out there. I do remember hearing that prior to this event happening, there was some type of, conflict or, altercation between Karmelo and Austin. Maybe it could have been the other twin, but it was in regards to his girlfriend. I believe one of the twins were harassing the girlfriend, and I believe Karmelo stood up for her. And then we also have lies. So I do feel like there is definitely a lot of smoking mirrors in regards to this case. I do feel like there's a lot of manipulation, or they're going to try to manipulate the people to kind of flip the script is kind of what I'm getting, okay? So they don't see the faults in the twins, okay? But again, both parties involved were wrong. And then we have the male card. And what I'm getting with this, I feel like, of course, there are males involved, okay? And I feel like this is Karmelo's energy, and then I also feel like this is the twins as well, okay? So it's just like, there is a lot of things that I feel like Karmelo is actually in regret at this point in time. He wish he wouldn't have did what he did, but I also feel like he feels like he had to do what he had to do. Now, this next row here, this just gives me some information, a few more details about this. So, of course, we got legal proceedings, which is why I feel like Karmelo is regretting his decision at this point in time. But you do the crime, you do the time. And then we also have the lies here, which we have couples. So I do feel like their parents, they are at fault for some of this because of some of the stuff that they have taught their son, or their son's witnessed through their parents. Okay, so I do feel like their parents are going to fight for everything is kind of what I get. And then we also got life insurance policy, and well, not policy, but life insurance. Now, I do remember seeing that they did have a GoFundMe set up for Karmelo, but I also heard that the family had GoFundMe set up as well. And we did get a bankruptcy, so I don't know if the family was having money problems and they really didn't tell their sons. And then we also have jackpot in reverse. So maybe the father or the mother, maybe possibly one of them has some type of gambling addiction, or maybe they were just really not doing good financially.